You want to overcome your fear of singing or speaking in public? This is a common fear that triggers shame, embarrassment, our need for acceptance, and a desire to avoid negative judgments. I have some proven techniques that can get you up on that stage singing without fear and embracing the excitement of the moment. If that is something you are longing to do, stick around. I'm James Burnham, and I work as a coach using fear as a guide, and I teach people how to metabolize it and turn it into excitement. This is one of the areas that I thrive in, so if you are somebody that wants to make a change like this in your life, stick around. I've done these things myself. This is one of the fears that I overcame using these techniques.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
First of all, you've got to let go of your ego. Those who sing or speak for approval are going to struggle because if you're looking for admiration or notoriety, you have a lot to lose, and that can be a little bit scary. The second thing you got to do is focus on building skills. Look specifically to what you need to do to make yourself feel confident in that space. Dynamics, tuning, vocal projection, pronunciation. If your focus is to sound better than everyone, you will face too much fear and pressure. Focus on the skills instead. Practice, practice, practice is the third point. Practice alone, practice in front of a mirror, practice in front of close friends and loved ones. These are the things that you can do to overcome those fear points. And point 4, learn to let go of thoughts of the future. Fear cannot live in the present. Fear hits us when our mind swings to the future of what we hope we can achieve or swings to the past of what we have experienced before. And that fills us with trepidation. But if you can dial it in and stay in that moment where you are, fear cannot touch you. This is crucial for performance. Let me tell you a story of how I implemented these 4 principles into my life and got over my own fear of singing. It was really bad. As a little kid, I had loved to sing, and I had this experience that just kind of traumatized me and made me shake like a leaf anytime I had to get up and sing in front of people in a choir or any sort of situation. I came from a musical family. I had 7 sisters who have beautiful voices, many of them professionally trained, and my sense of capability in comparison to them, well, it made me feel embarrassed. I didn't want to do that. And I had an ego. I wanted to be able to stand on stage and sing like them and sound like them and get that sort of response. I was worried that I couldn't. And so I had this big ego about what I wanted when I started singing in front of others. But I could never get to that sort of capacity if I never started. But I didn't want to face that wall. What I learned, and what was interesting, I spent some time living in Japan teaching English. When I went to sing karaoke at the bars with the Japanese, they would get up without any concern for tuning, sound, and sing their hearts wild in off-key, loud, laughing voices, dancing out of rhythm with no problem at all. And it was enjoyable to watch. The freedom with which they just embraced the music and didn't worry about performance and didn't worry about all these things that I worried about was profound for me to watch, to see that this can happen. So this is something that I had to learn to implement in my life in order to get to the point where I was willing to put myself on a stage in front of people to sing. I had to accept the fact that going for it was more important than delivering an on-tune, great little performance. If I was to just love what I did and go as hard as I could, whether or not you thought my performance was good, you could see I was enjoying it and you could appreciate that. This is a tough thing to get to, but if you can see and witness it, I promise you. There's a great scene in a movie called My Best Friend's Wedding with Cameron Diaz, and she's set up by a girl that's trying to really destroy her relationship with the man that she likes and make her sing because she knows that Cameron Diaz cannot sing. She has a terrible voice in this movie. So Cameron Diaz gets up and starts a little bit timidly singing this karaoke song. But then she just embraces the moment and she sings at the top of her lungs and she moves and dances and she has fun and the whole crowd loves it, even though it sounds terrible. And this is what I'm talking about, letting go of that ego and just loving the moment. If this is something you want to do it. Do it all in. And if you hold back, It will hurt you more than it will if you sing off key and hard and go for it. Let go of the ego. So I knew I had to do this in order to get to a stage. And it was something that I thought about and processed and really kind of tried to get my head space there. The next thing that I knew that I had to do was build my skills. If I was going to sing on a stage, if I was going to sing in front of people, I had to have the capacity to sing the song in as best a way I could. So I picked a simple song. And I was in France at the time when I decided to do this. And there was an open bar. And every Tuesday night, there was a house band that would play, get the crowd warmed up, and then you could go up on stage and sing your song. And if they liked what you did, they would join you. And they would back you up with backup vocals, lead guitar, all these things. And it sounded amazing. And so I wanted to give it a shot, see if I could do it. And I was terrified. And I began to practice one song, Chris Isaak's Wicked Game. And I practiced that song and practiced that song, 3 simple chords. And I just went over it and over it and over it. And I worked on my pronunciation, my vocals, my tuning, all of those things until I felt really, really confident. It was just in me. That helped me to change my focus on my ego and put it on something that I had control over, my skills. Practicing that was the next stage. I already said practice, but the specific things that I targeted, put my focus were what was important. But then practicing became the next thing. Singing it by myself became comfortable. Then I imagined, I took it in increments because it was scary for me. So you got to take your practice in increments. I took the practice in front of a mirror and watched myself sing it and got comfortable with the embarrassment of seeing myself sing. Then I practiced in front of some close friends and just played some songs to see how I would do and let the nervousness wash over me and get those jitters out. And then when I was ready, I finally went to the actual bar to perform. Previous to climbing up on that stage, I started to have my nervous jitters. My ego was coming back. I was worried about performing the best. I wanted to know that the band would back me up. I didn't want to get, dismissed without them helping. All of these things were entering my mind, getting me nervous. And what I did, because I know this to be true, is I let go of my future hopes. I let go of my past concerns, and I just sat in the moment and enjoyed the space I was in. I didn't think about what I had to do once they called my name. I thought about basking in all of the emotions of the moment and tried to keep my head completely present. When I did that, and I started to sing, the amazing thing that I hoped for happened. The band joined me. I heard the quality of my performance exponentially increase, and it was this fun, enjoyable experience. If you long to do something like this that scares you, take the time to follow these steps. Whatever it is, singing, speaking, anything, you can overcome it. And if you want to dive into how to overcome fear, I have this other video for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the bell so you don't miss any content. Here's that video that I promised, because when I promise something, I will deliver. You should deliver too. Watch it, make some comments. Let me know what you're trying to get over. What are your fears?